Still takes a minute to get used to all the
Little nuances.
little odd noises. I feel like I'm still in a weird house.
Yeah.
I get it. I can hear you though. That's good.
Big improvement.
Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Monday. How are we doing today? Hope you're having a good day. By the way, we're back on our FinTips videos. Actually got FinTips coming out all this week. Lots of great different topics, from using your 401k, using your home equity, things like that. We're talking about some nest egg plans there, how to stress test your retirement. Should you put money in a 401k or a Roth 401k? And we're actually going to quantify that, showing an exact example. So pretty pumped about that, and we're back, right? It's not pretty yet. If you could see what is right there, that is what's made the most progress, and then all of this is a hot mess at the moment. But over there, we're revamping the Closing Beats set in our new office here. Changing all kinds of good stuff. Hey, our Wine and Wealth class, we do this every week for clients. Last week the class was how to use your 401k with company stock to do a little back of the envelope sort of sneaky tax trick there. This week will be a cool one, by the way. We're going to start putting in variable withdrawal strategies inside of your retirement when you're taking money out. So those of you clients of ours that are retired or about to retire, oh, it's about to get really cool. And I don't mean just going in there and guessing like, oh, you're going to take out less this year because you're getting older or whatever. I mean getting down to it. So I'm looking forward to that one there. And we'll be able to, of course, stream that on Friday or Thursday for clients of ours. Hey, every week I do every weekend I do an email. I call it Notes from Jazz, just a quick way to update you. And I realize I never really share with you guys what it looks like. This is our personal little portal here. We load up the first 4 of them so it looks better on mobile, but you can see all of them there and just keep going through to see all the archives here. Here's what we talked about a couple weeks ago. We're just kind of digging through them. Just want to show you some of the extra things that we point out. That's going to be monstrous. So I try to share different things, some crypto talk in here. We look through earnings stocks that missed on all of their earnings, revenue, lowered guidance and everything. Talked about the change there. We went through some of the airline stocks, had some fun with that. I pointed out some of the things in our portal. This is our own personal portal that clients get to see through, that sort of thing. And then, of course, mobile, we did an update there. So I don't mean to take a lot of time on that. I just wanted to share with you. It's like, I never get to show you guys, like, what does it look like? What am I typing out on the weekends? It is not automated in any way. It is purely just me typing out thoughts and ideas and things that maybe I come across throughout the week. All right, stock market to start this week. Awfully strong, huh? Let's take a look. We got existing home sales to start the day. It was supposed to fall down to 5.82 million homes, and we actually came to 5.99. We didn't fall as much as expected. Very strong out there, man. You guys in your homes, it's just incredible. Anyways, if we look at the Dow, I'm going to start with the Dow here today. This was sort of a flip-flop if you're looking through the Dow. What was weak was strong, and what was recently strong was weak. That's the simple way to explain it. You can look at a few charts, just check it out. Boeing was recently weak. Today, it was strong. CVX, oil, energy, right? Recently weak. Today was strong. Caterpillar's the same thing. You can see it. I'm looking at just the last 2 weeks in here. But that's what you have. Things that were recently strong, like United Healthcare. And today, they were weak. Travelers, kind of in the same boat there. Has been recently strong. Today, it was weak. Money just moving over, taking advantage of a dip. That's all it is. Really simple to see. We don't have to overanalyze that one to death. But if you are playing Guess the Dow and you're analyzing the markets to death here, I hope you're in the lead. And by the way, we'll have a winner to announce, I believe. So what do we got, Cody?
Last week was Mr. Kevin Schultz with a guess of $35,101. He is not a client, so he'll be getting the $100 gift card. Remember, you can play either for the gift card, or if you're a client, you can get your account credited $100. So congratulations to him. We got our leaders this week to start it off. We got Jerry, John, Mia, Jeremy, and Mr. Russell Groom. So, yeah, that's your leaderboard to start us off this week.
Nice. Looking good there. Looking good there. And that is not your office, by the way. Is that correct?
No, this is not my office. This is the second one I've tried out. I was trying one out last week, and now I got a new one. Just kind of getting a feel for it. Let me go through trying them all out and see which one I like.
Yeah, I'm noticing that there. I see today I come in, and Cody's not over there. He's over here. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm just going to try them all out, see what happens. But hey, congratulations, obviously, to our winner. And if you want to play, as many of our winners in the past can attest, there are no strings attached. No games to be played. We're just having fun here. So if you look at the NASDAQ, I'm going to go on to that one there. It's now less than 0.5%. Big breakout move here today for the NASDAQ. Less than 0.5% from taking first place for the year from the S&P 500 there. Today it was largely thanks to the semiconductors, tech names, semiconductors, if you want to dig into there. What? The what? Oh, what's the problem, Bob? Looks good. I might have left you on there because I was still learning. I feel I'm all out of sorts. It's the same buttons, but we're in a different place, so it feels weird. Anyways, semiconductors and tech, right? If you're looking inside of the NASDAQ, Xilinx Semiconductor, NVIDIA, these are all 6+% gains on the day. I want to point out Pinduoduo, Chinese stocks in there. So looking through there, that's pretty much it. Maxim, Telecom, you can go through the list. AMD's 4% gain in a day. Looking good for the NASDAQ. That's what's definitely helped that one here today. And I want here, actually, honorable mention, Workday. Right? It doesn't get a lot of attention, but Workday, nice little breakout forming here. So that's an honorable mention inside there as I was scanning through the NASDAQ here today. IDEX looking like it's ready to pull back. That's been an amazing run. We actually own it. I don't know. I'm going to try to attempt something here. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but that's one of our larger positions that we own here at Jazz. So we manage $140 million, and IDEX is one of our larger positions. So it looks as though that's ready to start its pullback there. We've got just over 950 shares of that one there. Makes it one of our largest valued positions. If you do $950 times 671, you get about $650,000, $680,000. Gives you an idea of how diverse we really are right now. 140 million, and one of our largest positions is just about $700,000. So just so you know, we're not like all in on one stock there. I want to point out some of the other, if you're looking here, Edwards, EW, this is our second largest position here. We've got about just over 5,000 shares in this one, and maybe these are ready to start taking a break. Maybe it's a time to rebalance, start to scale back just a little bit. They've been amazing runners for us here, but if you're looking through the NASDAQ, IDEX stands out, of course, today. I think it was one of the weaker ones, down about 1.6% on the day. That's that. Anyways, we've got the S&P 500 here. Still in first, but now you know the lead is closing down by about 0.5%. It's got to hang in there. I'll tell you this. You look at S&P and you look at some of the movers today. Apache, 7.5% there. Occidental Petroleum, 7%. Now they're down. This is not like you just made 7.5%. These have been beaten down. You know that energy sector has been pretty weak there, but I want to say inside the S&P, your oil stocks and your semi stocks were the big movers here today. I want to point out Diamondback Energy, one of my favorites there, almost off the 200-day, kind of making its way. I talked about Apache there. Las Vegas Sands, a name that stands out. It's one I just had a little fun position there. The other day I mentioned on the show what I did, and I had to take a little bit of heat. I was about a day early there, but that one looking better there. DE, which is John Deere, we talked about this one. It actually did close negative on the day of earnings, right? So that was that one we showed the other day, the stats on how it's typically not positive the day of after reporting earnings. Only 48% of the time was it positive. In the news, Pfizer. We're going to have some fun here. You woke up refreshed, right? You're ready to do a little geeky stuff? If this may scare some of the kids out there, so hang tight, right? Pfizer. We talked about it the other day that it is very extended. I even mentioned a play that I had put on a short-term trade just to have a little fun with it here at Jazz, but not to put in our portfolio. We own it in our portfolio, but just a fun little play. And we talked about how extended it was there. The FDA gives them full approval for their vaccine, which also helps these guys too. BioNTech. There you go. So if you wonder why this stock was up, these guys are partners on the COVID vaccine there. We talked about that in the past. But can you buy Pfizer here? That is my question of the day. Is it a yes, you can buy Pfizer here, it's all good news, they're going to make lots of billions of dollars and it's going to be great? Or is the answer no, it's too extended? This is where I want to spend a second and actually share something with you here. So how often does Pfizer get this extended? I mentioned it the other day, but I sort of just talked about it, and I was like, you know what? We could get a little bit deeper. Let's go with some geeky stuff here. Don't let it scare you. here is every single trading day on a scatter plot for Pfizer. And what we're looking at is how extended it is. So percentage change is on the y-axis, up and down. So for example, if it had gained 3, 4, 5, 6% in a day, right here's the 0 line. If it had lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% in a day, whatever it is. And then at that point, when it had that change on that day, how extended was it, right? So this is the extension. We're putting 1 standard deviation, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? And so we are here, right there, although nothing's going to pop up. We are right there, that little guy. You can't see it, just right there. So what we're looking at here is how often does Pfizer, I put 3 standard deviations there because we're over 3 standard deviations. How often does Pfizer trade higher and over 3 standard deviations? Get what we're doing? Higher and over from 3 standard deviations. The number of times you just hit them all, piece by piece. This is every single day, I believe back before 1990. All right, so where does Pfizer like to spend its time? You can clearly see over here and over here, between 1 and 2 standard deviations, plus or minus in terms of percentage gained. So not a big deal there. Where does it not like to spend a lot of its time? Over here. If you broke this into quadrants, right? You're looking at price action inside of quadrants. It's not officially a full quadrant there because I went out further to make the chart fit. But over here, you don't spend a lot of time there. You spend even less time down here. So what does that tell you? And I'm going to expand on this, by the way, in the research site by using Kroger. We're going to go through performance going forward. We're going to show how you take this information and now project forward to see what happened in all those other cases. In other words, take every single one of these cases and now show me what did it do a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later? Was it in fact overbought? Did anybody really care? But the bottom line is, no, you can't buy Pfizer here because you're buying at a time when hardly anybody decides that they're wanting to buy the stock. It's extended. You are buying at a point where the stock just doesn't like to live. It likes to live over here. So either you have to wait for some time to pass, you have to wait for a pullback, you have to wait for it to go sideways for a long time and time to pass. You get what I'm saying there, right? So that's a way for me to show you it is not my opinion that it is extended. It is the history of the stock that shows it is in territory that it just does not like to be in. Like I said, in the research site tonight, I believe, I'm going to do it from home, we are going to talk about Kroger. We're going to do the exact same thing, the performance of that one, but we're going to actually show everything going forward so you can get a better understanding of that one there. So that'll be on the research site and available to clients as well. But no, who in their right mind can say that this is a strong buy in Pfizer? You could add to a position. I'll give you that. You got a sizable position, it's done well, you want to put a few more chips on the table. Okay, I can understand that. But to jump in today and go, what does this new FDA approval mean for Pfizer? It means just that. It's an FDA approval. It's priced in. It's over. It was already there. You had to be in ahead of the game there. All right, anyways, that was it for that one there. I want to take, well, I've done a little much there. Let's go to the sector breakdown here and see what's going on. Energy, big leader here today. You want to hear something silly? Here's a silly one. Energy, big move after being down. Oil lost like 6 or 7 days in a row, right? And I mentioned on Thursday, hey, took a oil position there, right? Playing the crude oil futures in general. No, I didn't. I got to be honest with you. So I mention trades every now and then, things that I'm doing just in the short term that do not affect the positions that we have here at Jazz, but just having fun. And I said, well, I took a crude oil futures position, basically sold a put in the crude oil futures. Well, it turns out I somehow got distracted. I unfortunately missed out on this one here because I had placed an order, and I always place limit orders anyways, and it never got filled, and I just assumed it got filled. I don't actually own anything. Never did. Here's a winner that got away from me. I just, I don't want to sit here and go, woo, I could pretend I have the position. Order didn't go through. So congratulations, anybody that has the pop in energy here today. I will be without you there. Nonetheless, very strong. Obviously, the strongest sector of the market here today, no question about it, by a factor of 2.5 if you look at everything else. Other sectors that are in the mix today, tech. We already talked about it. We don't have to dive into that one too much. Tech stronger on the day by 1.2%. That's new highs. Everything looks nice and strong there. Very, very, very solid. Consumer discretionary, good recovery as well. However, it's sort of sloppy. You got to know you're in the middle of the summertime action there for consumer discretionary. It's not exciting. It's not scary. There's not much to say there. And then pretty much everything else looking okay in terms of gains on the day. Utilities are going to be your weak spot. Finally, after having an amazing little run there in the short term. Like I said, just what was strong before is weak today. What was weak before, or at least weakening, has shown a little bit of strength today, and that's a good thing there. I do want to point out, do like transportation. Not a sector really, but we'll do transportation here. Talk about the airlines, right? So the airlines, they say, oh my gosh, airline travel is so strong, it's incredible. Wow, why aren't the airlines bouncing? If everybody's out there going back and traveling and all this stuff, how are we trending lower? All of August, we're trending lower here on all of these. Granted, we know that some people like Spirit Airlines have had a little rough patch. They said that it was demand. Oh my gosh, storms, demand, pilot shortages, staff shortages, causing a hard time. Now we know you're going to have to take demand out of the equation for just a second. Excuse me. And we can prove it. If you look into this here is a freshly painted chart of how many people have gone through TSA checkpoints. All right, we're looking back 2 years here. That naturally is the COVID decline where almost nobody was traveling. And we've been recovering. All is looking good. All is looking good. The peak happened actually right at the end of July. And what's happened since then? All through August, we've trended lower. We actually moved from about 2.1 million all the way down to 1.6 million. We lost 500,000 travelers through the month of August. So far, this is a daily number. It comes out daily. It's public. You can get it yourself if you like. Demand is not so much of an issue. Why would the airlines bounce here if demand is weakening? And normal after summertime sort of traffic patterns maybe will happen now, but that was the thick of it. That was the prime of it through all of the summertime or August portion of the summertime. Declining traffic? That's not good. So that gives you a little bit of an explanation there, and enough rattling. We go to new highs, new lows for the day if you'd like. Main page audio. Something's going on the main page audio. Was you about to give me the? The old Biden note? Something's on your chin, bud. Oh man, something on your chin, sir. Okay, let's try one of these here. Maybe that get a little bit better. Oh, all right. Well, that's good news. Let's go to new highs, new lows for the day. There was 56 of them and one new low. That was it. FMC is your new low. It hit new lows and started to recover a little bit, but that was one of the weak ones. Comcast broke out. Just thought you might be interested to know that one. Got a little breakout there. Cincinnati Financial. Nice looking pattern here, right? You like a slow and steady move that breaks to highs but doesn't run away, right? So if you own a financial stock, or any stock really, and it just trends up there, pops to a new high and starts this nice trend higher, I'll take that all day long as a fund manager. As a trader, you want something like that, snaps or synopsis. We say snaps as a term, but so you want something like snaps where it breakaway gaps on you and then just off to the races, right? So if you're a trader, that's where you stand there. Anyways, just wanted to point that one out. Eaton, you got a little breakout here, very much in the middle of an uptrend, continuing uptrend, everything smooth. Like I'm even talking more calm. It's just a nice looking uptrend there, no problems. Paycom, I can't do it. Paycom hitting new highs as well. Same thing. You got a breakaway gap that was off to the races. The traders had a good time. Traders walk away, stock trends sideways a little bit. I don't actually think it's done trading sideways, but nonetheless, you hit a new high today. Maybe the traders get in there and get you a little something. Trimble was the last one there. There's your breakout, right? So new highs today in the S&P, 56 of them. Maybe something you find interesting. All right, stocks in the news, and I'll let the stream catch up, take your questions, and we'll see what we have here. Alphabet, you want to ride in Waymo self-driving cars? They are now available outside of Arizona, I believe. I think they're going to San Francisco next, somewhere in there. I read that over the weekend. John Deere, we talked about this. They moved lower on earnings day. Today gets a little recovery. They had good earnings, raised their guidance going forward. They're actually very positive going forward about farm equipment and obviously industrial equipment there. But inflation, they commented, the reason that thing fell, comments on inflation, they said, we see this thing staying and getting worse for John Deere, right? So that put a little pressure on that one. Facebook's going to work. Facebook wants so bad to get into India in a big way. They're working with Indify, which is not peer-to-peer lending, but it's a lending platform, but it's not peer-to-peer. I don't believe it's peer-to-peer. So anyways, they partner with them to give business loans to Indians who have been advertising on Facebook's platform. You know how much the loans, the interest rate on the loans are? I believe they start at 20% for those. Now, Facebook doesn't have any revenue sharing or anything in that. You just have to be someone who's advertising on Facebook in India, and you're eligible for these loans. They're going to work with them together there. They want so bad to be sort of accepted there in India, which they've been trying and making progress. Peloton. I believe Peloton is going to have a row machine. Yeah, they're adding a row machine there. Okay, no problem with that. Peloton's obviously doing well. They're making money. You can't see that. There you go. Stocks in the news. General Motors continues to have issues. It's not funny, but continue to have issues. The Chevy Bolt and I believe other of their EV or hybrid type vehicles, they're having some real issues there. And so they, over the weekend, I think it was Saturday, they expanded the recall. Stocks down about 1.2% on the day. And that's pretty much stocks in the news. Tomorrow, earnings from Advanced Auto Parts, Best Buy, I believe is in there, Intuit, Nordstrom's, Toll Brothers, and Urban Outfitters. Yep. You got the LVS play. Very nice. Very nice. I was a day early on that one, but very good. Yep. Oh, sorry, I was answering questions there. Alibaba, reversal, handful of them. If you look at Pinduo, Duo, JD in the names there, a little bit of reversal. I gotta say, I like to follow Chinese markets. I like to follow all of that over there in terms of news. I'm fascinated by that area of the world, so I do study that. President Xi Jinping has changed his tone in his comments now. So if you don't know, they've been regulating the living daylights from a data perspective on a lot of the big name companies. And I understand some of it. I really don't understand a lot of the rest of why they're going so strong on this. Well, we may have seen a little bit of why, because he now says, what was the word he used? God, what was the word? He keeps using the word shared prosperity, which over there, that essentially means, how we would say it here is, the rich are too wealthy and we need to help out the lower class. That's how they say it. So shared prosperity is how the translation goes there. Basically means tax the rich. Well, if you think about it, if that's the case, and they move that fast on shared prosperity, as they did with regulating these data companies there, you're seeing a change real quick. So just start thinking, right? All you're doing, and for me, I'm always thinking about it. If they do this and they have any sort of payment transfers, any sort of tax on the wealthy over there, and they want to transfer that over to the lower class, what would be a good investment? Where would you look, right? You would no longer look at luxury home companies, luxury home builders, condo builders, things like that. You would no longer look at the luxury retail products, right? Because it's likely that they would scale back and everything, at least a little bit. You also are not transferring enough money to make the lower class wealthy, so they're not going to go buy luxury clothes and retail products. You look at the mass retail companies over there, right? Companies where people would normally not be able to spend and buy, like our Walmarts, right? You wouldn't be able to go to or Target would be a good example. Lower class, maybe they're shopping at the Walmart over there, but now they have a little bit more money in their pocket, less taxes to pay, and they can go to, the whatever's more expensive. Is Target more expensive? I don't know. The Target or Kohl's or whatever the answer is. So you're looking at that sort of thing. People where they can spend a little bit more of their discretionary income on nicer clothes, not luxury clothes. But anyways, I have a feeling, if I had to just guess, and this is my opinion for the show, it means nothing, I have a feeling that's the next stance over there in China. So we'll see. He's never said shared prosperity in the number of times. Like there was an algorithm that tracked it in like 4 speeches. He said it like 14 times. And so it's like our Fed here. They just start signaling things little by little. Yep. Anyways. And they don't like Jack Ma. Yeah, you're right. Notice how he's all of a sudden, he used to be on TV over here. He used to come do tours. He would be, leaving comments, doing press conferences, doing regular conferences. Nope. Yep. I know, I know. I don't, things like that. I don't necessarily care what the political thing is. To me, I'm like, all right, you see how I was thinking. I wanted to share that with you. Like, was there an opportunity there? I maybe don't agree with what they're trying to do, but what's the opportunity? Where do we look? Where don't we look? What do we want to be in? What don't we want to be in? So hope that helps. Lots of interesting things here today. Like I said, it was a different way of going about it. Hopefully I didn't scare you too much, and hopefully everything else is working out. We've got some kinks to work out here in the studio as we continue to build, but I appreciate you hanging out with us. I'm going to wrap it up there and get back to work. Enjoy the rest of your day.